Shalom, Israel. This is Bishop Nathaniel. I want you to know that you can view all our Sabbath classes live on IUIC TV. That's right, I said on IUIC TV. Download the app today. Shalom.
Say again?
I'd rather be here than Africa.
You'd rather be here than Africa.
Oh, yeah.
Why is that?
I can't give you
Send that call to voicemail. Yeah, it ain't nothing important in the Word of God. Nah, send it to voicemail. Send it to voicemail. So you said you would rather be here than Africa, and I asked why.
I can't answer that question.
You don't even know why.
Africa, ain't know where all the diseases are coming from.
You feel like the disease is coming from there.
But I know about America.
Okay.
I mean, not Africa.
Okay. Here's what we're going to do. Give me Nahum 3:1. I want to show y'all something. Because this also, matter of fact, go back to Deuteronomy 28, and I want verse 32.
Yeah, I really got something going on.
No, you ain't got
I
nothing
hear the
going on,
last
bro.
word, and I really do. I'm supposed to be going somewhere. I just got stopped.
Listen, here's the thing. What we're teaching here is the Word of God.
Right.
The reason we've gone to what we've gone through is because we've broken God's commandments.
Right.
Does anybody know some of God's commandments? Let's try that. Very good. The first commandment is thou shalt not put no other gods before him. Very good. Anything else? Thou shalt not covet. Very good. The last, the 10. Very, very good. Very good. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all of that. Okay. Here's what I want to show you. Deuteronomy 28, verse 32. So remember, we went over curses, right? You saw slave ships. We went into slavery on ships. Why? Because we broke God's commandments. That's a Bible prophecy, right? Verse 32.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them.
So another curse is, remember, we went into slavery on ships, right? Then it says, your sons and daughters will be given unto other people. That sounds like slavery, right? Y'all seen Roots? Remember Roots? Roots, they were giving each other's children away. Kizzy was chasing that wagon, boy. Why? Because they gave her child away, right? Go ahead.
All the day long. And there shall be no might in thine hand, the fruit of thy land.
Okay, go ahead.
And all thy labor shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up.
So real quick, the top of the verse says, your sons and daughters shall be given unto another people, and thou shalt have no might in thine hand. Hold this back up. I'm gonna give y'all, listen, you're gonna learn history today. You're gonna learn black history. Stay right there, brother. Listen to this. With your Goku hat. Come here, brother. Come here. Come here, brother. I don't know who that is. I don't give a damn. I'm gonna show you something. So it says, your sons and daughters shall be given unto another people. So remember this. So we're in the west coast of Africa, right? We watch our sons and daughters go on slave ships, and we had no might to get them back. Think about that. So the sons and daughters went on slave ships. Where did the parents remain? Where? Give me some, brother. So wait a minute. So he said he don't want to go to Africa, but your fathers, your mothers, and your grandfathers are still there.
That's right.
That's what we don't understand. So we don't want to go to a place because they taught us to disconnect from there. But our parents, our great-great-great-great-great-great-grandparents were left behind while the descendants were put on ships and brought here. But read that last verse again. What happened to them that had to stay behind? Go ahead.
The fruit of thy land.
So now, while they were in Africa, what is it called again? Colonialism? Colonialism. So in Africa, we had to go on slavery on ships, right? Our parents stayed behind and suffered colonialism. Because it says what?
The fruit of thy land.
So everything that the richest land is Africa. From the vegetation to the minerals to the natural resources, nowhere on the planet has more than Africa. So when we just read, it says, the fruit of thy land, anything that comes out of that earth,
And all thy labors,
and all of the things that you work for,
shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up.
So back in Africa, they suffered as well because Portugal went in there. Denmark went in there. The Netherlands went in there. Germany went in there and divided up Africa among themselves and took all of the resources and gave the people none. So you work in the cocoa field. You get the cocoa seeds to make Switzerland rich in the cocoa industry. Well, guess what? The people who live there, they don't get no benefits from it. They still live in hand to mouth, live in the squalor. They get no benefits. You understand that? So we want to disconnect from Africa, but we can't because our foreparents are still there.
Right.
You understand? So he's like, I'd rather be here than Africa. You'd rather be here getting gunned down like Trayvon?
You know.
How is it you would say something like, I would rather be here than somewhere else, when you can't compare it because you've never been?
Right.
If you've never been there, you can't say, oh, I don't want to go there. I want to stay here. When here, all we know is oppression.
Right. Right.
Tell me what else we know from this land other than oppression.
You know.
Somebody, tell me. All we know is oppression. That's it. All through Fort Valley, we picked the cotton. We picked the tobacco. That's what we did. All we know here is oppression. So when we say things like, oh, I'd rather be here than Africa. Let me show you what kind of mindset. Nahum 3:1. Nahum chapter 3, verse 1. How y'all doing, family? Y'all all right? Okay. You all right? How you doing, brother? How you doing, brother? All right, all right. Nahum chapter 3 and verse 1. Let's see what God says.
Nahum chapter 3 and verse 1. Woe to the bloody city.
So this was a bloody place. You agree? God says destruction to the bloody place, because under this this church and these big lush houses is the blood of Native Americans.
Right.
You know how many? They killed Native Americans to get this land.
Right.
So underneath these nice luxury houses is the blood and bones of Native Americans.
Right.
This is a bloody, bloody place. Go ahead.
It is all full with lies.
So it says this whole place is filled with lies. Everything, think about it. Everything you see here is a lie. How can we prove that? How can we prove that? When we see people breaking the Sabbath day, we know you live in a lie.
Right.
When we see the nations, all nationalities mingling together, we know you believe a lie. We know it. Go ahead.
Woe to the bloody city. It is all full of lies and robbery.
And what?
And robbery.
Was everything stolen from us here? Yes, it was. Everything. Even our nationality.
You know.
Because now, what do they say? What is your nationality? What would they say? African American, right? What about you, sis? Hispanic. From what country? Mexico, right? What do they say about you, brother? Huh? African American, right? Now, do you know what African American comes from? Where it comes from? Okay, we'll help you out. So, African comes from Leo Scipio Africanus. Okay, he was an Italian general that conquered Hannibal in the Second Punic Wars. Okay, so that's Africa, right? Then you have American, which is Amerigo Vespucci, who was an Italian navigator who discovered some of the Americas, right? So you have African American. Both of them are two Italian men, two Caucasians.
Bring it out.
How can we be African American when the origin of that is two white men?
Right. Get out.
Makes the wheels turn, right? Okay, okay. Same thing with you, sis. So-called Hispanic or Mexican. Before you were considered Mexican or African American, what did God call you? How about you, sis? What did God call us as a people before we were given these names like African American, Mexican, Puerto Rican, Jamaican, Haitian? According to the Bible, you know what God called us? No? Do you want to know? We are the Israelites.
Right. Right.
We are God's chosen people.
That's right.
You ever heard that before? Yeah? So, as a chosen people, what should we be doing? Because you got to think about this. You got handpicked by God.
Right.
You got handpicked by God. Brothers, y'all got handpicked by God. So that's a special thing if you ask me, right? That's a special thing. So if God, not if, God handpicked us, that means we're at a high standard.
That's right. Right.
What should we be doing as a people? That makes perfect sense, right? We should be living at a higher standard. Like what? Okay, like what? You said doing right, being right, like what? Okay. How do you serve God? Okay, you said treat everybody as equal, but you were here when we read something earlier where there's not equality. Okay, let's go back to it. Deuteronomy 7 verse. Oh, finish that first. Finish that.
The prey departeth not.
So it says, remember, this place is full of lies and robbery. It says the prey. We were preyed upon. We're the prey. We get hunted by them. The prey doesn't want to leave this place. That's why the brother said, I'd rather stay here than go to Africa. Why? Because we've been preyed upon so long that we feel like we can't leave master's side. We some good house slaves. We some good field niggas out here. Because we never want to leave our master. God said, don't worry, you don't gotta look around. It is what it is. This is the word of God coming out. So read that again.
Deuteronomy chapter.
Nahum.
Nahum chapter 3 and verse 1. Woe to the bloody city!
Destruction to this bloody place.
It is all full of lies
All full of lies.
and robbery.
They stole everything.
The prey departeth not.
The prey doesn't depart from here. All of the slaves and the laborers will not leave this place. Why don't we leave this place? Because they make us think this is the melting pot. Everybody got to come to America to make a way. Read.
The noise of a whip.
It says, why don't we leave?
The noise of a whip.
Because the brother right here, he been hitting some points. It says, why don't we leave?
The noise of a whip.
You know this history right here? Our backs getting whipped.
Bring it out.
We've been whipped so long, we don't want to leave the white man's side. It says the noise of the whip, meaning he doesn't have to whip us anymore. Now this is going into us going into Egypt, but the point is, it transcends to today. This is ingrained in our minds, whether we want to admit it or not. This is why we try to seek their wealth. We try to move to their neighborhoods instead of building up our own neighborhoods. You ever think about that? We work harder to leave our neighborhoods that we can go live where they live. Why don't we work as hard to fix up our own neighborhoods? Think about that, because you said if we do right, we got to do right by each other, right? That's a good way to be godly. So why don't we work as hard to fix up our own neighborhoods, to make them beautiful, rather than as soon as we get money, as soon as we get a little bit of money, we move from our neighborhood to go to theirs. You understand the point? That's a fact. Everybody, as soon as they get that bag, they are gone.
Right.
Instead of, how about we all invest in one another, beautify our own neighborhoods, and we don't got to move.
Right.
Because they don't want you there. Because when you move in, where do they go? Really?
Right.
So we labor to go live next to people that don't even want us to be there. You understand that? Read that again.
Whoa! The noise of a whip.
It says the noise of the whip is what keeps us in line. The image of this is what keeps us in line. The image of us being continually oppressed keeps us in line. Real quick. So the brother made a good point. So Zephaniah 2 and 1. Zephaniah chapter 2 verse 1. So the sister, first off, I'm sorry, go back. Deuteronomy 7 and 6. Because he said treat everybody equally. So I want you to hear this.
Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God have chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people,
Equal to.
above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
So God says there's no such thing as equality.
That's right.
You're better than the other nations. You're better than the other nations. You're better than the other nations. You are better than the other nations. Brothers, you're better than the other nations. That's the so-called Arab man, the Chinese man, the white man. God says you're better than them.
That's right.
But what do? We want to do everything to entertain them, everything to make them feel pleased and happy. Meanwhile, at the same time, destroying everything that's ours.
Bring it out.
You got to think about it. In order to be like them, you have to destroy something about your own people in order to be like somebody else.
Right.
Y'all know that, right? So for instance, I'm going to show y'all something. Deuteronomy 22 and 5. I'm going to help y'all out real quick. Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 5. I want to show you sisters something.
Deuteronomy chapter 22 and verse 5. The woman,
Sis, I need you to hear this, sister. You walking away, but listen to this.
the woman shall not wear that was pertaining unto a man.
So there's something that women wear that really belongs to men. Y'all know what it is? Think about it. Men don't wear weave. What do women wear that really belongs to men? Think about it. Let's keep reading. Hopefully the last part will help you out.
Neither shall a man put on a woman's garment.
So a man can't wear a woman's garment.
Right.
What's a woman's garment that a man shouldn't wear? A dress. Very good. So it says a man is commanded not to put on a dress. No Israelite man is to put on a dress.
That's right.
That includes Tyler Perry. You know, we think he's funny as Medea, right? God said it ain't funny.
Right.
We think Martin Lawrence as Shanae is funny.
Right.
God said it ain't funny. Even back in the day, Flip Wilson, God said that ain't funny.
Right.
The list goes on and on and on, because God says a man, an Israelite man, so-called black, Hispanic, or Native American, is commanded not to put on women's clothing.
Right.
You understand that, right? Because it takes away. So when a man puts on a dress, he's putting it on to entertain another nationality of people.
That's right.
Tyler Perry ain't put it on to entertain black folks. I don't care what y'all say.
Right.
He put it on to appease the white man.
That's right.
Because everybody that put on a dress, they got the script from white screenwriters.
That's right.
Everybody. Guess Dave Chappelle exposed it. Kevin Hart talked about it.
Right.
When they put on a dress, it was a white man that came and said, hey, this will be funny. Right? So let's keep reading.
For all that do so are abomination unto the Lord thy God.
So everyone that does this is an abomination unto the Lord thy God. So Tyler Perry, when he dressed up like Medea, God says he's an abomination.
Right.
But go back to the first part.
The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man.
So it says women are not supposed to wear what pertains or belongs to men. What, you want to take a guess now, sis? What is it? You said a suit? Okay, we getting warm. Okay, stop it here. How about you, sis? You want to take a guess? No? It says wear, so it's something you put on. Yeah, but what clothes? Sis's clothes. She said a suit. Very good. Very good. Sis said pants. So the first part is a woman is not supposed to wear pants,
Right.
according to God.
Right.
The pants was given to the man.
Right.
Y'all heard the term, who wear the pants in the family? Who wear the pants in the house? It's supposed to be the man.
Right.
The man is supposed to be the one wearing the pants. Why? Because the pants were given to the men in Exodus chapter 28.
Right.
It was never given to the woman. So what my point was, when you try to be like the other nationalities, Gloria Steinem and Amelia Bloomer started the women's feminist movement, where women were encouraged to start wearing pants in the late 1800s
Right.
into the early 1900s. So what happens? When you try to be like the other nations, you lose a part of yourself. You lose what your people are supposed to be doing. You lose your masculinity or your femininity.
Right.
Because when I see Tyler Perry, I don't think about a masculine man. I don't care what nobody said. That joker put on a dress and was dancing around like Medea. I don't think about masculinity when Tyler Perry comes to mind.
Right.
Make sense? So you try to make entertainment for the other nations to laugh and to give you all kind of money. You're a billionaire now. But some people might say that's an easy sacrifice to become a billionaire. I'll do it. No. Or do we want riches or do we want to please God who can give us the riches? I want to please God. So a masculine man, a man is not to put on a dress.
Right.
The same way a woman loses her femininity when she puts on pants.
Right.
Yes. Sis says she got a question. Okay, sis said, if you're bad and disobey God, is it true that you lose days? Okay, I'm gonna help you with something. Let's go to Exodus chapter 20.
Exodus chapter 20.
So sis, we're gonna answer your question right here, little sis. Listen.
Verse 20 and verse 12. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee.
So sis asked a very good question. She said, if you disobey God, do you lose days? Well, here's what God said again.
Honor thy father and thy mother.
So now, do you listen to your father and your mother? You do, right? Good, because here's what it tells you.
That thy days may be long upon the land.
So you get to grow old in the land. You won't lose days, as her question was, if you honor your mother and your father in the Lord. Make sense? So now here's real quick, Deuteronomy 32 and verse 29. I want to show you something. Deuteronomy, is it 33:29? 32:29. Let's read that real quick, because here's another part to your question.
Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 39. See now that I, even I, am he, and there is no God with me. I kill.
What does God say?
I kill.
So who does the killing? God. Very good. Go ahead.
And I make alive.
So who decides if someone lives? Go ahead.
I won't.
If somebody gets wounded, who decided that? God.
And I heal.
And who decides if you get healed? God. So right back to little sis' question. Will her days get shortened if she disobeys God? Well, God just says he's the one who dictates if you get hurt, if you live, if you die, or if you get healed. So it would behoove you to do what God says. It would be in your best interest. So we just read something that God said a woman is not supposed to wear what? Very good. So if you want to live a long time, what should you stop wearing? Oh, give this a round of applause, man.
Wait, so we can't wear these?
Huh?
We can't wear these?
Oh, what are those pants? What do they call? Sweat what? Sweat what? Wait a minute. Say again. You said you gotta wear them to school? You got school right now? Oh.
What about jeans?
Are jeans pants? Yeah, they are. They are.
They jeans, not pants.
Yeah, they're jeans.
Girl, they go over your legs.
They're pants. But here's my point. You say you have to wear them to school. Why?
Because if we don't, they're gonna just
They're gonna what? Okay. They're gonna dress code you for wearing a dress.
No, like if the dress like right here, then just
Okay, so no. Give me that 2 Timothy chapter 2.
No.
Okay. So here's something that we gotta fix as well. When sisters think about a dress, they think about it being way up here. That's not a dress. That's a long skirt. That's a long shirt. It's not a dress. But let's see. Read that.
1 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 9. In like manner also, that women adorn themselves in modest apparel.
So God says sisters are to wear modest apparel. So if it's up here, somebody's going to see all your legs. They'll be able to see all your shape. And guess what? We're not supposed to see that.
Right.
You know, I'm going to ask you a question. You got the youngsters out here in little shorts and stuff. Do you know who out here is a kidnapper? You don't, right? Do you know who out here is a sex trafficker? Who out here is a rapist? But what you're doing is you're advertising the things that sex traffickers, rapists, and pedophiles want to see.
Right.
They want to see the product so they can decide if that's who they're going to take.
Bring it out.
So if you're showing it, how can we get mad as a community when somebody takes you up on your offer? Give me that in Leviticus 19:29, is it? Leviticus 19, verse 29. I'm going to show y'all something. I know you wanted to leave, but you got to learn this. Because guess what? You can go home, and you can tell your mama, you can tell your dad, you can tell your family. But what you can do is, let me show you this flyer. Turn it over. Right here on the back of the flyer is the website, the school address, the email address. If you got questions, y'all can email us. If y'all got questions, y'all can call us. We have a school that you can come to and learn. We have have daughters y'all age, but you can see how sisters look that wear dresses every day. Well, let's see that.
Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 29. Do not prostitute thy daughter to cause her to be a whore.
Now, I know you might, how old are you, sis? Okay, you're 14, so you're a little young. But here's what God is commanding. I see the brother coming across the street. Here's what God commands us as men. We have to start saying, you know what? My daughter, my niece, my little friend that lived down the street, my homeboy's daughter, you can't come outside wearing that. That's what we have to start doing. Remember the brother said earlier, we got to start coming together as men in the community in order to treat each other right, things of that nature. You remember that, right? So one of the ways is we actually look out for one another. So when our young daughters, our young sisters have on certain clothing, we can't be afraid as men saying, hey, that's not my kid. No, that is your child. Because guess what? When sex traffickers take her, we going to weep and mourn with the mama when we could have helped prevent it. So we're going to rally, we're going to march, and we're going to do all of that together. But we as men could have said, hey, listen, I'm going to talk to your father. Go back home and change your clothes. Go back home right now. Because I guarantee you, right now, we got our daughters parading up and down in these events. There's pedophiles in here. Right now, there's sex traffickers in here. But we got our daughters out here showing off all of their goods, thinking it's cute. It ain't cute. It is not cute. You are advertising yourself to kidnappers, rapists, and murderers. But then when they get taken, you want to go to the house and bring a plate of food and mourn with the family, but you was a man that witnessed it and could have stopped it. Don't be mad. Don't feel no way if the neighborhood hates you. You're standing for the righteous thing. Give me that Psalms 94, verse 16. We can help the community, not just coming out and supporting black businesses. No. Talk to these young men. Hey, get out of that gang, bro. If I see them, I'll call the police. If they threaten you, so what? Our lives are uncertain any damn way. We go to the gas station to get robbed. We go to the gas station to catch a stray bullet. Why not stand up for the right thing? My daughter's 12. So in that mindset, no, my daughter go in the room and change your clothes. And if I'm not there, guess what? I know these brothers is going to tell my daughter, take your behind in there and change your clothes. I know that for a fact. Read that thing.
Psalms chapter 94 and verse 16. Who will rise up for me against the evildoer?
God got to ask the so-called black and Hispanic man this question. Who's going to rise up for him against evildoers? Why does he have to ask that? I thought we strong men. I thought we men of the community. I thought we black and we proud. Where are those men?
What is the nation?
Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family. Nation is community.